You saw Houston beat Memphis, like you said, without their star Kendrick Davis, who's been pretty darn good. His usage rate is higher than almost everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Right. It's crazy. Him and DeAndre Williams, and they're two of the top 6 scorers in the league.
Right. Now, I made a controversial statement the other night about Penny Hardaway. And my question was, is Penny Hardaway the right guy for the job moving forward with the Tigers program? And I'm going to defend myself before I ask you to push back or agree with me. All I'm going to say is, listen, it's year 5. They've been to the tournament once. They barely made the tournament last year. I know people say, well, they had a 9 seed. They ended up playing Gonzaga, but they needed those 2 wins against Houston to get in. Against a Houston team that was, again, without Sasser, without Mark. They got it. And let me say, too, I love Penny Hardaway. Love him. I root for Memphis. But my take is, Rob, they've been fairly irrelevant for 5 years now, nationally. Fairly irrelevant. Barely got in the tournament last year. Barely getting in if they get in again this year. Don't you have higher expectations if you're a Memphis fan than just getting into the tournament?
I mean, I think that he's still in a good place. Won the NIT. He's made the tournament.
Why do we talk about winning the NIT like it's something that means something? I don't,
because
we stop.
I think you can make the argument, though, that if you won the NIT, that you could say that, okay, well, maybe we should have been an NCAA tournament team, right?
You're the 69th best team. Hooray. Good job. Come on. What are we doing here?
What is their success outside of John Calipari? They were good with Penny. They were good with Penny.
Yeah. With Penny.
And it looks like they were good in the early 80s. Is that right? They were 31-4 in 1984. But they've got a lot of seasons where they're hovering around 500 or just getting to 18, 19. I don't think their history is amazing. I think that he is going to be a guy that can get recruits. Certainly, sometimes they can be frustrating to watch offensively. I don't think that they have the most explosive offense in the world. But he is a selling point. He's kind of to me, he's an iconic player of the 90s.
Of course.
He really is. And I think that
denying.
I'm not saying that. Let me finish. I'm saying that that's going to hold sway with players that want to get to the NBA.
Okay.
I think that's why he got Kendrick Davis. I think that's certainly why he got a guy like James Wiseman. I just, are you in the dark?
I know it's starting to get dark outside.
I still just think he is the guy to lead them forward. I really do. I'm not ready to give up. I just think that outside of the John Calipari era, they haven't been great. And how did that go with, Tubby Smith's a good coach. How did it go with him?
He was a horrible hire there. He was a horrible hire. Pastner. Josh.
How did it go with Josh Pastner?
Who wasn't, listen, I'm not defending Josh Pastner at Memphis at all. You know how he went to 4 tournaments in 7 years at Memphis. Now, 3 of them were in Conference USA. When that leaks, but it's not like the American's so much better.
I also think that with Penny, he gets a longer leash because he is a Memphis Tiger.
Okay.
You could say that's wrong, but I think that he is one of the icons of much like Patrick Ewing would get a longer leash at Georgetown, and much like anybody else, Matt Painter, Juwan, former player, it makes it a different deal. I think he still deserves time to go forward and prove that with the portal and with the way he's recruited.
We fire him today. I'm not saying that. I was never saying that. Basically, what I was saying is all right, he's done an okay job there. If you're grading Penny Hardaway so far.
But I don't think he's gotten an F either. I would say it's
no. But again,
a C+ or a B-.
The expectations, if you're a Memphis Tiger fan, are not just to sneak in the NCAA tournament.
What are the expectations? What is a fair expectation? Is it the John Calipari, Derrick Rose team?
Here's what it is.
Is it the Tyreek Evans teams? Where should we say they are?
Here's what I would say. If you were Penny and in your first 5 years, you went to the tournament 3 times and you made it past the first weekend once, I would say that's solid. That's good. That's good. To me, that's good. So he's 1 tournament shy, and some people could say, well, in the COVID year, maybe he would have went.
They were on the border, right?
Yeah, and they're right there this year. They may not get in. I mean, they're
I think as long as they win out and outside of the Houston game and make the final, they would get in.
But they're capable
of 25 wins. They are.
Yeah, the wins to me are a little bit deceiving because you and I both know this league is not very good this year. This league is not very good. I mean, they got 2 quadrant 1 wins all year, Rob. In the non-conference, they've lost at St. Louis. St. Louis isn't very good. Seton Hall, they're okay. They lost to them on a neutral court. Alabama, no shame. Then in conference, they've lost at Tulane, at UCF, at home against Tulane, and now Houston. So I think you're right. You got to win at Wichita, Cincy at home, at SMU. Then you can lose the last game in Houston, and you're probably in the NCAA tournament. If you lose 2 of those 4, you might have to go to the finals of the American tournament.
And what is the expectation going forward, would you say? Because Houston leaves, Cincinnati leaves, UCF leaves.
Oof.
They've got to be the alpha dog of the league, right? I mean, they're going to have.
They better run that shit. To be honest, they better run that league. And I just feel like they should be the clear-cut number 2 right now, and they haven't been. That's what I would say.
When you mentioned Memphis' wins, did you say Auburn? I wasn't listening to what you were saying. They beat Auburn. They beat Texas A&M.
Yes.
They beat Mississippi.
Yep.
They beat Stanford. So they've beaten high major teams, but those teams, other than Auburn, have not been great.
And Auburn's
A&M's a tournament team, though, aren't they?
A&M's better than Auburn. Yeah, A&M's their best win. That's their best win. Auburn in Atlanta, a decent win also. Again, I'm not saying Penny's done a bad job. I'm saying I expected more. And if I'm Memphis,
well, the recruiting in the Wiseman team had so much hype, and then it got dismantled so fast.
Right.
You know, that never had a chance to really happen. So I don't think that's fair.